Yellow. Can you see right there? We're going yellow. The bull run is happening. So are you ready? Are you ready? I have a lot to uncover and unpack in this video. So welcome. My name is Kelita, Sahliah. If you're new, I combine astrology with the crypto markets along with Gematria, and there's things I feel you need to know. I feel XRP will melt faces during this bull run and possibly XPR as well. So stick around to see why I feel that. But this is Crypto Angles podcast number 80 something. I'm not sure, 85, 87, 86. But welcome. So if you feel from what I said like, oh, this is bullshit, then just go away now. You will miss the gems. But those who want to stick around and figure out what's going on, how is it linking to it, I want to be prepared, make sure my exit strategy is ready and on point, then stay around. So you can see we are in this. I want to combine the Gematria again. I have not done that for a while, but a lot of things have been happening on the world stage and I've just not really been presenting it. But something I want to bring out, which may seem very random, but it has a point. If you go over to TikTok, this was something that was happening. Can you see gingers are black? A lot of people were talking about it like, oh, I'm black, I'm ginger, etc, etc, etc. It's very interesting. When something happens on the world stage, the collective, they're pumping out a code. This code links to many things, but what we're focusing on, the connection to crypto, because that is what we are about right now. So ironically, this being pumped out, this was the original video, this being pumped out is linking to crypto. It's signaling a code for crypto, and XRP is not exempt from that. So go into the Gematria connections. We're going to look at the Gematria, then the Gematria then connects into the astrology. We'll look at the astrological story, and then we'll take a look, confirmation burp, at the technical analysis to see if all of this links up. Okay, so we've got gingers are black. That was a general search that was going on, but I looked at some others, getting rid of the word R, and we'll look at that as well. But gingers are black. We had the 132, was it? You've got Lucifer, Lucifer XRP, which again, this little play on words, but I find it interesting. Lucifer just means light bearer, light bringer. XRP is linked to that, potentially XPR, as it is the same code, and I do feel XPR can be an underdog for XRP. Like, I feel it's gonna stick around, and it's basically getting XRP at its inception. So do keep that in mind. That was just something I found interesting. The actual search I looked up was gingers. I got rid of the R and just put, giving us the 177 and the 69, which is potent because that's the material, this is the ethereal. It's this yin and yang dance and all of that jazz. We then have, with that, the 177. Bear in mind, oh, XPR, you see, Freudian slip. XPR gold standard. Coming back to that 177, also that 69 ethereal and material. Also, which I find fascinating, is moon in where? Moon in Capricorn gives us that 177, and the question is, when is that moon in Capricorn? So we're going to take a little peep when we're having a moon in Capricorn. We're sliding down. This calendar is available as well, people. You can get it on Etsy. So let's go. We're in August now, and what do you see? A super sturgeon moon in Capricorn. Super sturgeon moon in Capricorn. So what is this telling me? I really feel summer's gonna be a wild one. Summer is going to be a wild one. Yeah. This is probably our second pump in. Our third one may go end of the year, going into the beginning of next year when the bull run decides to end. So keep this date, August, in mind. because when it's a full moon, I found it interesting, it's a full moon, price likes to find its bottom, to find its support, and once it's found its support, you can then long the market or DCA, depending on what you do. But this is not financial advice, and I'm not a financial advisor, entertainment purposes only. So depending on what you actually do, this is going to be a bottom and could be a big propel, like summer, August, that has happened before. So we'll see, we'll keep that in mind, because like I says, the coding of this reality, it brings stuff out in the collective. We absorb it, but we don't know the code, we don't know what it's telling us. So these things are coming out about gingers, and like I says, I feel it's the melatonin. I know I mentioned this before, but I feel it's the melatonin when it comes to gingers. Are not exactly like black people per se, but it's the melatonin within them. They've got so much melatonin, it goes to their hair, because even melanated gingers, they are more lighter skinned and their hair is red. So that's that for that. So keep an eye out for that. Okay, I also want to look at Google VEO. Reason being is because they've released their third version, which is just wild, and it's popping up all over social media as well. It's all there, but it's giving us the 103. And what is the 103? It is Mercury. Mercury is God's messenger. Okay, God's messenger. It is the winged god Hermes. It deals with money and things of that nature. It is that energy exchange. So Google VEO alone, being that, is fascinating to me, especially because this also links to XRP. What? Boom. Mercury, the messenger. They are telling you, they tell you these things. So I feel XRP will melt faces. It really will. Most of the stuff that has been happening on the world stage, I haven't presented it on my videos. I've just done a quick search, and a lot of the world stage stuff, and you can check my previous videos, I'm not capping, gassing, talking shite. A lot of it links to XRP, no cap. Many other cryptos as well, but XRP is the common denominator in all of this. So we're going to go to the astrological story. Keep your eye out for August the 9th, full moon in Capricorn. Do make sure you grab this calendar. Oh gosh, it is, don't forget, 10% off if you want it. Digital and physical copies are available. But let's get into the astrological story of this cycle and what's going on. I feel summer's gonna be wild. Summer starts when on the summer solstice. So we're approaching summer. We are approaching summer. Will summer be altcoin season? Will Bitcoin lead the way beginning of June, and then will it turn into altcoin season? Let's see. That would be amazing. Like I said, I'll be more than content even if this wants to wait an extra year, to be honest. But we also want it to happen quickly. But where are we? It's the 25th today. It's 25th today. We are in our new moon phase. This is what I want to highlight. These may have some impacts, but we're focusing on this right now. It's a new moon in Taurus. So when moon phases last 5 days before and 5 days after, so this will be going into June for us, basically up till the 1st, 2nd of June. Price likes to find its resistance level when it comes to the new moon. Okay, when it comes to the new moon, price likes to find its resistance level. So there's a possibility the market can move two ways. The market can be pulled up to its new moon, or we're being already in this new moon phase, pretty much where the price is, that could be its resistance level right now, and then we retrace. So that's the idea we're observing right now for the immediate future, which is now. So do keep that in mind when we look at the technical analysis. Moving like to Mars in Leo, people's drive and passion will be, when it comes to the market, will be very bold and confident. Okay, so that's also important. Their drive and passion will be very bold and confident when it comes to market moves. This does not eliminate the market movers. So when I'm talking about the astrology and people just probably want to think, oh girl, you're talking shite, it's not biased to anyone, you know. It's the market movers, makers, as well as the retail and in terms of how we're moving. So I'm seeing general bold movements happening in the market from basically this point onward. Fortune in Gemini. What's coming out for me is more the fact that it's an air sign, Gemini being an air sign, so quick movements. So things moving quickly will bring you fortune and prosperity. Okay, based on this new moon, the fact that it's in Taurus is a toroidal field. It is the new toroidal field, and it being the new moon, you can see that the market is entering its own new toroidal field. So regardless if the market is where it's at now, that its new resistance level, this is the new energy field it's operating on for the next cycle. Okay, so keep that in mind. We'll be moving pretty much into June, and I do want to highlight this strawberry moon, which we will cover in the next two videos, because your girl's gonna be consistent again. I'm getting back on it. So anyway, it's in Ophiuchus and Sagittarius, which is fascinating because the full moon, it finds its support. Okay, so we're going to just be following over the next two cycles what's going on. Have we found our full resistance level, or because we are in that zone, is this the resistance level right now? But when we do come down to retrace, just doing a normal drawback, which is healthy in the market, and we find our bottom in this Ophiuchus and Sagittarius energy. So the moon, it starts in Ophiuchus pretty much in the day, and then it moves into Sag. So this energy, Ophiuchus, is transformation. It's healing and transformation, transmuting energies. Sagittarius is this whole new direction, new perspective, this focused direction. You know where you're going. So when it comes to these moons happening, we're getting our new toroidal field in Taurus. We're entering into this new energy field with how the crypto market is ready to move. And then we're transforming, and we are precise, focused, and ready to head in this new direction when price finds its bottom, and you can then long the market because it's found its bottom. Okay, so that's what I'm seeing for the astrological story. Let's get into the technical analysis, going back into the Bitcoin stock to flow model plan B. I don't know what happened to plan A, but this is plan B. So anyway, you can clearly see we are getting lighter, and it's just phenomenal actually recording these videos, because your girl was doing it for a while. Okay, I was seeing the stock to flow model when it was here, but when I was recording videos, I was definitely recording it as it was like blue to red and showing it on my videos. So seeing it live moving and changing colors, we are very much in this bull run right now. And something I can't stress enough is having an exit plan, because we're starting to get lighter. You can see as we're getting lighter, we go into this yellow. From when it's starting to turn from yellow to green, you need to be fully out. But this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, but from my perspective, it's being fully out when you start to see that slight change going into green. And yes, you can still probably make some extra profits or whatever if you're still in it when it's a bit more green. But for safety and securing things, from when it turns yellow and starting to change from yellow to green, be out. Why are you still there? But going on to the TA, as I mentioned in my last video, so you girl took 2 cycles off. I was in Cairo, you know. But anyway, This is on the W time frame. I don't like using the word week because we are not weak, but anyway, we still haven't reached our measured move from the giant cup and handle pattern that Bitcoin was making over a couple years. So we've still not reached that, just shy of 120k, 118k. So that is still in the works. And on my last video, I pulled this fib and I says, the moment we kind of hit into this golden pocket, look what happened. We just broke right through the golden pocket. This is the W time frame, but you can still clearly see, and we'll go down to the daily after, but you can still clearly see we got rejected off of it a little, broke through it fully. We did come back and retest the top of the golden pocket. And now we are at our buying zone, the 0.888 fib. Deep breath. So I was down here. I was like, okay, we've come back into this parallel channel, which is actually quite healthy for Bitcoin to do, because we didn't want it to just go up and then just continue going up. We've come back into it, and this parallel channel has been going on for a while. So I'll show you in this video now why it is actually healthy. You can see when it was there doing the whole cup. So this is the cut pattern, how it respected this parallel channel so wonderfully. So what we've done is come and retest and test that back out again, which we did. So all that downward momentum many people were scared of was actually quite healthy. We did have, just from the wick to the wick, 25% drawdown, a little bit more if you're counting the wicks. So probably 30 altogether drawdown before making our way back up again. And we have pretty much retested it. I don't know if we'll do it on the larger time frames like the W, where we may see a little retest probably back to here, or are these wicks enough? This is why we will go back down to the daily. But like I says, we do need to create this measured move on Bitcoin at 118k. So that is in the cards. I feel we may get some resistance at this level before potentially reaching the 618 fib, the 1.618 fib, because that is our next measured move at 130k Bitcoin. And we need to see how price responds at the 118 to 130k before we can really entertain these higher prices. But it is also a possibility, okay, from that alone reaching the highest fib at just shy under 200k. So 200k for Bitcoin is possible, and if we are to break through the fibs, which I know XRP does a lot, but if we are to fully break through, reach the highest point, it's 220k, and possibly extend slightly over 230k. So yeah, but that won't come without some drawbacks and things of that nature. So we want to see really if we are going to have a retrace back down to this parallel channel on a larger time frame to gain a stronger support, or have we done it yet? That is the ultimate question. But we are in our buying zone. Excuse me. And if we're to come back down to retest the parallel channel, which is a very strong and valid thing, that would still be healthy, because we're basically be coming back down and retesting fully the top of the golden pocket before going back into our buying zone again and actually tackling these highs. So your girl is back on the free version because I went to Cairo and spent all of my money, so I can't put up all of the indicators at once. But again, this is fascinating. On the W, we are kind of a bit overextended. It would be healthy, we'll say overextended, we're not overbought. It will be healthy if we do get a little retracement for more momentum to continue up, but we are nowhere near overbought, so we still have a lot of room. I just want to bring you awareness to confirmation burp, don't be alarmed on the small retraces, as we are in our new moon phase. This is, we have found our resistance, so you can then short the market, okay? So keep that in mind. You short it until it's ready to find its new level of support. So ideally in I would say layman's terms, but we're basically creating these higher highs and higher lows for continuation to the upside. I Oh gosh, I have to try figure all of this out. Let's just go on the daily, take a quick look on the daily, then we'll move all of our things, because I can only have 2 or 3 at a time until the next video, and you girl will be back. But anyway, if anyone wants to get the subscription from me, I'll be more than welcome. But if you don't, it's all right, I can do it. So looking on the daily, this again is looking quite healthy. You can see much more. So on the W time frame, though we had wicks, you can clearly see we had a baseline of support. Even when we reached this high, price came back down and retested this golden pocket. So for me, this kind of tells me that we pretty much have retested the golden pocket. And we did that ultimately before getting into our buying zone, which is looking healthy and fuck. And we are maintaining this support on our, is this the EMAs or SMAs? Can't remember. It's the EMA ribbon band. So it is holding us up right now, which again is healthy. So then that, based on this, because we had the full support, based on this, it seems we were finding our support there. So if we are to come back down, it could still be a possibility, but more than anything is just gaining support at this 101 zone. If we are to break through here, if like our new moon phase is like, yeah, this is our resistance level, so just keep that in mind. Ultimately retesting that golden pocket, but we could be on the verge of this being our support, the 105. So keep in mind 105, or what, basically 101 or 100k when it comes to Bitcoin on this little retracement. I do want to put up the moon phases. Are you gonna work? I have to get rid of you. Okay, go on now. Yeah, one at a time, one at a time. So our moon phases, you can clearly see we had our full moon, our recent full moon, come in here, our new moon, respectively, without being like, oh, it's gonna jump up high, it's gonna jump up so high. Well, what's the date of it? 27th, in 2 days. So basically here, it could just pop up here and be like, yeah, this is our resistance level. And that could be the momentum really to say, let's retest this if we get a lower low before continuing and bouncing off it. So that is still a possibility. But ultimately, all of this is just looking healthy anyway. We do have the option, if the new moon phase hasn't finished and wants to pull it up higher, but it's seeming like this is our resistance level. So we just want to keep that in mind. So I'll leave that there. When we come back to our next video next Sunday, we will take a look to see what's going on. Let's get rid of the moon phases right now. I do want to check the MACD. Where are the indicators? Favorites. Where's the MACD? Oh no! Oh, forget the MACD. We'll look at it in the next one. Let's take a look at the SMAs. Okay, so the SMAs, you can see we are now underneath the 8. So this is telling me more likely we will have that little drawdown in combination with all the moons and stuff as well. That little drawdown for a stronger solid support. So it's either going to come in at the 100 and the top of the golden pocket, 101k. Which does align with the top of this parallel channel. So keep that in mind, especially if we break below the 105. So if we cannot find our support there, that could be possible. What I'm seeing with these white lines and the green line, when it comes to the SMA, the green needs to be at the bottom. So again, after a couple days, this cross will happen and the white, the 55, will be above the 200, and like price being underneath the 8 moving average We'll bring it down whilst these cross, and then it will get the momentum, even if we come back down to here, to continue on up. What I don't really want to see is coming back into the parallel channel, but ultimately still at these levels, even if we are retesting the lows of the bottom of the golden pocket, getting closer to the 55 and the 200 moving average, that is still super healthy. So just keep going. Yeah, I wanted that. It's still super healthy, so just keep going. Ultimately, keep going. I got distracted. Anyway, Bitcoin's looking healthy. Let's look at the XRP. XRP's in the hizzy. I don't want to put on too much things because, you know, so XRP, let's start the same way on the W time frame. What's going on? Because on my last video I put both of these technical analysis thingies. I put them both there. So on the W time frame, it is looking super healthy. We are being supported by the 8. So in this little drawdown that could be happening, if Bitcoin's doing it, then the altcoins are going to do it as well. Ultimately, we'll potentially just get support on that, what, $2.21 region. If we come down lower, we'll gain that support. But we have, you can clearly see we were rejected off the 0.5 fib, 0.5 fib. We attempted to go above it, but on the larger time frame we got rejected. So it's about gaining its support, going back to here, our resistance level found, waiting until we're finding our proper support. We're moving into that energy ultimately. But looking healthy. What we do want, of course, is on a larger time frame to get above the 0.5. I do want to check if it's happened on the 3-day. Lord me God, I can't use the 3-day because I've not got the thing. Oh, I need a pay pig. Anyway, so we'll do better next video. All right, Babs. So let's get back into it. What I do want to see on the larger time frames, of course, is getting into the golden pocket, because XRP hasn't done that yet, like Bitcoin, based off of this crazy move what has happened over the past few months. So that's what we really want to see. XRP at least getting above $2.70. Okay. Yes, we do want to see that. But Bitcoin is going to move first. So as you can see, we've come down quite low. So the only question is, we haven't created a higher high than this point. So it's showing a bit of weakness, showing a bit more downward momentum. The only thing we want to pay attention to when it comes to the RSI is, are we going to maintain a higher low than this point? Because that essentially is what we want. That point is here. Yeah. Confirmation burp on the RSI, excuse me. So we want to create a higher low. That's what we're looking for. So essentially we want to be above that $2.20 region on this little retracement, at least closing a candle on that before continuation up. And when it comes to XRP, we want to get into this golden pocket. That's what we want to do before we hit this buy-in zone. And once we're in the buy-in zone, Bob is your uncle. We are reaching that $4.50. XRP has been known to just break through all the fibs when it's ready. So 450, 630, $8, and you can see my blue lines were there from previous things. And then we have our peak at $9.20. XRP often likes to extend slightly above the last fib level, the like get out warning, time to go. It likes to do that. So reaching that $10 just above that wouldn't be shocking for me. If XRP is ready to do that. But of course, that is the journey it needs to go on. We just need to get into the golden pocket first. So going on the smaller time frames for XRPZ and the HIZI, so just looking at these again, like Bitcoin, it is under the 8. The 55 or 50 is not above the 200, which does need to happen. That does need to cross over. However, the 200 is there for a support. So this is kind of telling me the resistance level, this new moon energy could be here, and we may be squashed between this zone. Price basically coiling up, as this should support it, as it has been. Went a bit lower than it there. But as it done this, the 200 was probably slowly catching up. We found our support off it nicely here. Will we do that again, especially when they cross over? So do keep that in mind. The daily RSI, oh, yeah, you can see we are coming back down a bit. Again, we are in our new moon phase. Price has found its resistance. We need to find its support, but this is looking healthy to me. We are under the 50 on the RSI. This just telling me we will get lower in the RSI. I don't know how low. I don't feel it will be like oversold. Like, we're not. That will happen when it's bear market time. So I don't feel it will be oversold. But we're clearly getting lower. As we broke through it, we got rejected, so we want to come back lower, which will be healthy for upward momentum, because eventually we'll then go on up. When we finally move up on the RSI, if we are to come down, will we make our way up and then become overbought? And that's just bull run territory. Like, as it reached the highs it did, we were severely overbought. So that is pending. It's coming up right now. Take off these. Let's put on the other. Again, it's underneath all of them, so we are going to have a retracement. We're having a retracement. Basic technical analysis, this was our last support zone, so it's coming back to this zone ultimately. $2.18 ish. I'm gonna say in between $2.15 to $2.20. We want to hold that for continuation. If we break below it, then we'll take another perspective on what's going on, and things of that nature. Gosh, it looks so bad, so bad. I just want to now put on, no, not this. This is looking good. I was talking about something else in my room that just looks bad. The moons. So fascinating. It is seeming perhaps we will get our new moon popping up here, showing resistance on the 27th, is it? We may get our new moon popping up here, like, hey, resistance level. So we'll see. We'll see ultimately where our support zone is. Do I feel we will come lower than this point? I don't, and that's what we kind of don't want. When it comes to the RSI, we'll see if we create like a bullish divergence. We'll see, but we can only wait and see that. But essentially, we don't want to come lower than this point. If we do, then it's like, what's going on? I don't know. I can't find my glasses. From this previous high, we have created a higher high than that, slightly based off the body candle and wicks. Of course, we went much higher, so do keep that in mind. It is like, okay, it's a little bit more, but like I says, really we want to get to that $2.60-70 range, which will bring us back into our golden pocket and like fully overcome these highs. Essentially $2.80, even better, more the top of the $2, more the top of the golden pocket, getting close to that $3 range. So that's just what we want to pay attention for now. But we've got a lot of movement coming in, but the movement won't happen without the retracement. So just stick in there is all I can say. The things happening on the world stage when it comes to Gematria, when it comes to all of these things that's going around on TikTok, this, Google, AI, blah, 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 it's signaling what is going to happen. And those who know what to look out for, know what to do when it comes to their extra strategy, when it comes to putting in and things of that nature. So don't sleep on that. The giants are preparing. The giants are preparing. Okay, so I am pretty much going to leave that there. Video is getting a bit too long. Make sure you do grab this calendar, digital and physical copies available. Grab yourself 10% off. Just type in Lumin 10 at checkout and you'll get 10% off if you would like it. And follow along, especially if you're into astrology as well. I just take this calendar, it's in full alignment with the sky, and I combine it with crypto, so you can as well when it comes to your technical analysis. So if you're just interested in the actual movements of the hologram, then definitely do get it. But this is Kelita Sahliah, your angel and your guide in this hologram. So with that being said, angel out. Bye.